All right, what is going on? Welcome back, everyone. My last tweet was over a decade ago. I think that was maybe my last tweet that's just out for a tweet, I guess. I don't think I've only tweeted like a few times. But I did respond to somebody not too long ago. Yes, I'm still not very active on Twitter. But Kevin, how you doing? Welcome. And welcome everyone to the live stream. My name's Adu, and if you're new here, every Monday through Friday, we get together right here on YouTube, and we live stream our work as we're trying to build ourselves a company, which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. And we're working on Piixel, which is our Webflow template and component library. We also do web design and development as well too. But for today, we're going to dive right back into building some new components for Piixel pieces. So one of the main things that yesterday and Monday we talked about in terms of what I want to work on this week. Part of that is increasing the number of components that we have in Piixel pieces because we're at like 136 now. So we want to get to at least 150. I think we'll get past that quite easy. It's actually quite easy if you think of when you kind of create a specific component and then you say we're gonna be looking at creating these kind of featured section components, and then you say you create 10 of them and then you double it by flipping left to right and right to left, and then you get from 10 you get to 20, and then you could double it again by doing like a dark mode, and then you could double it again by, instead of having an image placeholder, it's like a video placeholder. So you can very quickly get a huge number of components. So I feel like that's always a struggle for me in terms of quantity versus quality, but at the end of the day, it's about speed and efficiency and how somebody can quickly use Piixel pieces to build a website. So, and that goes the same for me as well too when I'm building websites. Is one of the things too that I was working on last weekend was using Piixel pieces as if I was building something for a client, and I found a few areas where it was lacking, and those are the things that over the next couple weeks that we're going to be working towards fixing. And one of them I was talking about yesterday was what was I talking about? Adding a filtering capability when you're looking at the different components, and something that we're going to be adding at some point. We just need to really sit down and think about how we want people to be able to filter things by. And one of them is for sure filtering, like how many columns does a specific section have? So things like that. So that'll be kind of interesting. So anyways, but I figure for right now, we'll just kind of get started and we'll just start building some components here. So I figured, I could do these things straight in Webflow, but I think at the end of the day, having some type of Figma file that people are going to be able to use and be able to just take all the components. I don't know, I don't know. I guess for me personally, I'm not sure. I don't know how I would use it, but I know, Kevin, you were saying it would be useful. I don't know how people would want to use it, but I think that would be for me really talking to people that would use it and want to use it, and find out exactly why they would want to use it, so then I can figure out exactly how I could even build it and how I could even structure it for when I am ready to kind of release some of these Figma things that I'm working on. So anyways, so we're going to get started with these basic layout sections. And if I go here, if I go to our components, maybe I can just go to Piixel pieces where I can actually kind of use these things. So we just created this one here. And this one was from Tupo, who was asking about creating a feature section that has these kind of rounded edges on the inside and the outside. So we kind of created that, and we can do different versions of this as well too. But we created this one, so it's a feature section. I think this should actually be called like a layout section, but I'm not sure because it's tough because everything's kind of a layout, but I'm not sure what they should be called because I think in Figma, where's my Figma? Close all the stuff I don't need. I don't need this right now. Don't need this right now. Don't need this. Maybe I might need this, so we'll keep that. Right. Yeah, I called it layout here. So I'm all over the place in terms of labeling and naming, so we need to make sure that we're consistent. Anyways, let's get going. So this is kind of a generic section, content section, and one place that we can even take a look at that is even in Piixel pieces. You can see here you have this kind of content section here, You have this one over here as well. And if we go to, I know if we go to Piixel.ca, for example, I mean, these are just straight 2-column layouts, 3-column layout. I think, where is the one that, oh, I think I got rid of that section. Because there was something that had, right, it was, I know it was like a 2-column layout. Oh shoot, I got rid of it. I totally got rid of it. Anyways, it's just very simple where there was the image on the side and then it was the text on the left side. So I mean, this is a pretty straightforward, super easy section. Let's organize this a little bit here. So that way when we create new sections, new layouts, we're not doing anything too crazy. So what do we want to do? So this is, I think one thing that we should create, because sometimes we have it, even in, I think, yeah, we have it here in Pixel Pieces. We have this like intro heading thing here. I'm not exactly sure even what to call this little section heading. But I think we can have that in here as well, because they're pretty common. So, whoops, what did I just do? We're gonna, I did the same thing again. All right. We'll call it layout title. Is it like a tagline? I don't know if it's a tagline per se. So I just think like a tagline of something that's underneath a logo. Like pre-heading? What is it? What would we call it? Like pre-heading? Layout title goes here. I don't know. Something like that. Subheading. Yeah, but it's so subheading would be below. So this is the one that goes up above. But is it really called a subheading because it's not below? Like it'd be like a subscript and a superscript, like a superheading. An eyebrow. Is that like a technical term for it? Because I've never heard that. Or is it? Because I did call it like a little kind of pill area. I don't know if there's what the technical term is for it. But it's this thing here, and it'll be like a really, like a much smaller font, right? Probably bold it. And you often heard it referred to as that. Let's Google it. Yeah, Google always has the answers, usually. Unless you're like me and you use Brave, and then it has half the answers. Yeah, let me know what you come up with here. I'm just gonna keep plugging away at this thing here. Put this in a frame. We're gonna call this heading and title. I don't know. Let's call that for now. Actually, and then the distance between here will go 16 times 2. Okay. And we'll just put this content area. Shift A. This is button group. And I throw this one in here? Ah. That's not too bad, although this is too much spacing in between. 1.5 REM looks good. So here we're going to put this whole thing. I guess we can just call this layout 1. This is the whole shebang here, where we are going to, we're going to just lay it out centered, and the space in between is going to be, I don't know, how big should we do it? Maybe just something like this, and we center the whole thing. What is this size? Wonder if we should make it the same, like 500 by 500. That's almost too big. We got it unlocked. As I'm thinking about it, should we make them the same, like each content area the same size, right? Like if they're both 500 and give this 48, that should be the same. Yeah, it's 1048. Search for UX movement eyebrow text. I don't know if I want to search for that. What's going to happen? All right. Increasing headline clicks with eyebrow text. April 6th, 2018. Eyebrow headline. Okay. Eyebrow styling. Augmented reality. Bolder color variation. When to use them. Short enough. No eyebrow headline. Unclear keywords. No context. Teaching code. That's not bad. You should call it piebrow text. That's not bad, actually. Just throw pie in front of everything. Okay, well, that's interesting. Does it show anything here? What is this? Eyebrow headline. All right, so I guess it is like a thing. Descriptive keyword or phrase placed above the made headline and blurb. All right, let's do it. I like it. Where are we? Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, no, I learned something every day. Look at that. I think I would know that. I guess I knew of it. I just didn't know what the hell it was called. Eyebrow headline. Whoop. Is it called a headline? No, I can't remember. Eyebrow headline. Yeah, I like that. So we'll just call this heading. And well, I think we'll just call this content. In fact, I need to get my class naming here consistent. I think we should, I don't know what the Figma naming conventions are for layers, but maybe we should be consistent with how we do things in Webflow. So we just use like client first dash styling, or just basic CSS kind of styling. I think that works. Okay. So although the eyebrow headline, should we give it all libraries? This one doesn't have our new colors. Shoot. So I'm gonna have to copy and paste those again. I'm not gonna worry about that just right now. Okay. All right. So that's, yeah, I mean, again, nothing's fancy here, but it's a layout. Okay. And I wonder, when I create second, I guess the name of the layout here should be equal to the name of the layout within Piixel Pieces as well. Because I'm just thinking right now, like for the next layout, I'd almost want to do something different and not have it be the same, as opposed to going to, you know, this one being layout number 2. Because this is just this in reverse. So like when you're perusing Piixel Pieces, let's just go here. We're not logged in. If we go here, let's go to components. So this one won't go any larger. So yeah, like when you look at navigation, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you want each one of them to be different and not be the same, but just like flipped over, if that makes any sense in terms of like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, we'll worry about naming, I think, later, or the positioning. So let's reverse this. Right, and now we have to think about what types of differences can we have. So there's lots of things. Let's see. So one of the things that we can do is we can add, sometimes within these sections we have like icons and yeah, different pieces of information. So we could do, what do we do with the icons? That's another problem. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. Okay, let me grab this guy. Throw that in there. Well, this is going to be in something completely different. So we need to auto layout added. Okay, it's not quite what I want. There we go. Okay, oops. This is a bullet point with a, what can we say? Also has an icon. I'll say that features a quick description and icon. So we'll just call this bullet 1. All right. And we're definitely going to fix the size. Oh, hang on. Actually, I wouldn't mind if this, I guess this fills the container, and then this guy here, if we change the size, yeah, that's gonna update. Okay. And there's a couple different ways we can do this. Copy and paste this one. So actually, this one will fill. I want this to be one line. Okay. Then this one, I'll say bullet points. Or no, we'll just go bullets. I think one thing that I'm going to have to get in the habit of doing is designing some of these things just by hand, which is how I usually normally design things. And then I could take stuff and sketches into Figma. Because you can, it's a lot easier to play around, and you have no, you know, if you're just using a pencil and a paper, you're just sketching around, you're just exploring things, right? So it's just much, not less pressure, not that this is pressure anyways, but you know what I mean? It's a lot easier to get out ideas quickly than it is to try to use technology and, you know, try to design stuff in Figma. Unless you're super fast in Figma, but I could draw a lot faster than I can type certain things out. Anyways, that being said, I kind of have an idea in my head of what I want to get done for some of these layouts. So we're going to keep plugging away with that. So yeah, so this is basically kind of a different layout here with bullet points instead. So I like that. Does this make sense to rename these different? I guess it does, because maybe there's something that you can do to change, like select all layouts or select all elements or layers within Figma that has the same name. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can't really do that in Photoshop. Maybe you can. I just don't know how. We got to stop saying Photoshop now. We got to start saying Affinity. But I guess it's not like a verb. Like, oh, did you Photoshop that? Or it's been Photoshopped. We have to find it's been Affinitied. I don't know. I guess that doesn't really ring very well. I've had so many videos come up on my YouTube channel or whatever, just about people talking about how Adobe's just like killed themselves and shot themselves in the foot, and how Affinity Photo is doing really well. And I think they offered a 6-month free trial of their whole software just to get you on board without even having to take your credit card number. Super boss move by those guys. And it's just like, yeah, just do that. It's like if you know, Piixel gets to a certain size or whatever, where we got, you know, whatever percentage market share, and then some other company decides to do something really, really bad for their customers, and, you know, another you know, competitor that does Webflow components, and then we'll just be like, hey, well, why not come to Piixel Pieces? You know, we're not going to do, you know, whatever it is with we're not going to say that you use our components and then we have complete rights over to all the websites that you build with our components, you know, something stupid like that, right? But if another company ever did that, we'd be like, hey, come on over to Piixel. You know, we're not going to You do what you want to do with our components, and that's yours. That's your website. We're not doing any of that. Anyways, crazy. All right. So this is pretty good. Yeah, for this guy. Let's go. All right. Let's do another one. And so what I want for these guys is I actually want to do, oops, I didn't rename this. Any other one? I should probably do that. I actually want to do a 2-column layout. So let's go back here. Now, so this is 500 pixels wide. So if we make each one of these ones 250 would be it, but we want a spacing in between. So maybe 16, no, we want maybe 24 pixels in between. So we need to bring it back by 12. So 238, I think, wide. And then if we go here, and then if we put it this way, but then we want it to wrap. There we go. That gives us our correct spacing, I think. So can we change that spacing? We can, which is cool. 16 by 1.5, maybe something like that. And actually, and I think in this whole content spacing, that's 24, eh? That's also the same size. We make that smaller. Looks a little bit like everything's a little bit too tight. 16 times 2. What's that? Yeah, that looks a lot better. And if I, maybe even something like this. Yeah, that breathes better. And do we want our icon to be aligned at the top? I think so. Yeah, I don't think we want them aligned like this. No. Do we? I think it depends on the icon. Yeesh. I think here we're going to do the same thing. 16 times 2. There we go. Yeah. So again, we have 3 of them here, but we really have like, what, 12 or 16 of them, because replace each of these images with a video placeholder, flip them over, do like a dark theme as well too. In fact, everything's going to need to be, we're going to have like a light and a dark theme for everything too. But that's going to be a little bit more work to get all that stuff sorted out and figure out how people are going to want to use a dark theme. And I think it would be fantastic too if we can somehow CSS it so that whatever starting point you use for like our starter project, if you can just flick a switch and have everything go from light to dark, that would be super, super awesome. Yep. But anyways, things to think about for the future. All right. Layout number 4. So again, how much, because if somebody, okay, I'm just thinking now about simplifying a layout where it's just going to be like a title and some text. Because again, someone can take layout number 1 and just delete, and then away you go. But again, yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, part of me is thinking Make it easy. I need to center these things into the canvas as well. There we go. You are centered, yeah. Timothy Ricks has a video or two about switching back and forth from dark mode using attributes and variables. A bit over your head. Yeah, so Timothy, I'm pretty sure I know him. Let me just bring this up here. Because he does a lot of stuff, I think, about Webflow, right? Yes, yeah, he's the guy who made Lumos. Right, yeah. So he's going to be, yeah, he knows quite a lot. I should check it out. We should check it out. So yeah, I think he's definitely has much more of like a developer mentality or a developer background as well too. So he has some really great stuff. So using attributes and variables. So if it's there, if he's done it, then I'm sure it's possible. And whether it's going to be something that's going to be super important or people are going to want to have, I don't know, but we'll investigate. Maybe we'll spend a video at some point or live stream going over his video and seeing if we can implement it ourselves. That might be pretty cool. Okay, right. Layout number 4. Yeah. Let's see. You know what we can do actually? Let's delete this one. Let's copy this one. Call this one 4. Because really, I'm thinking, not like that. Like super basic like this, right? Basically get rid of all that. I mean, this is as basic as it can possibly get. So if somebody just wants this, they can copy and paste it. Again, I feel a little bit cheesy because you can just take, this one and just delete all that stuff. But I guess if you're new and you're just like trying to figure out what's what, yeah, this is not so bad. And again, too, I guess if we're going to have sort capabilities and like being able to sort out different elements, and if you say, show me elements that have a button or don't have a button. So if they all have buttons because we're putting them in because I'm like, oh, you could delete them. So if you say don't have buttons, then that's not going to show up. Or some that do have an eyebrow headline and some that don't, that could be another filterable thing. So I think it's important to still have here. I just have to get over myself and just know that it's like that it's okay to have something like this. Okay, so that being said, let's go another one here. We're going to do kind of a one column layout or a couple different one column layouts. And let's go down like this. But we actually want it kind of full screen. So what is the ratio? I think it's 1024 by 768. What is the ratio? That's almost too big for what I want for this. What is the ratio? It's probably in here. If I do a frame, 1280 by 720. Presentation, that'll be too big. Tablet. No, that's not the right ratio I'm looking for. HD screen ratio. 16 by 9, right. right, what's these 16:9 ratios? There's none. Okay, all right. Let's give it our QHD. Oh, HD is 1280 by 720. That's really big for our little screen here. So can we shrink it down? There we go. 900 by 507. Okay. There's our aspect ratio. Okay. What's in the middle? Frame 1. Yeah, we don't need that. So I think this content. In here, I think we're going to center everything. And our heading also needs to be centered. But the text isn't centering. Why is that? We have the frame being centered, but I guess because this one is wanted to hug, I think is the reason why. Yep, that's why. Hug, but it needs to wrap. What's going on here? Fixed size. Fill. I always get confused with what's going on here. All right, fixed size of 500. But this thing, we need it to fill, but it's not centering. I guess maybe we have to do this? That doesn't seem right though. Oh well. I guess we do it this way. This one should not have a button. Whoops. Whoa. Don't want to do that. This one doesn't need a button group. And this is... How should we do this? This one should be a lot smaller. Let's go... I mean, this really is just demonstration purposes, but... Okay, let's find another good Sam Jackson quote. All right, here we go. Whoops, not reviews. Generate. Ooh, yeah, another unbreakable one. Ooh, I love this quote. Cool, all right. Let's grab that one. This is really small. Okay. And paste. I guess we can just bring it down to 2 lines. There we go. There we go. That's a nice little layout section. And let's copy and paste. See, this is what really bothers me in Figma. So I'm on layout 6. And I'm right here in the layers panel, I guess. If I hit copy and then I paste, because I want to paste a new layer or a new frame, I guess in this case. So it creates layout 6, but it puts it above, or sorry, it creates layout 7, but it puts it above layout 6. But then yet it flows like, you know, after layout 6. So why does it place the paste before the layer in the layers panel, but after in the actual view? And then I have to, every time, and then I gotta move it. It's so frustrating. I feel like there should be like a shortcut key. I could just hold down a button and then it will paste in the right spot. Like, let me try holding control. No, that didn't work. Holding shift. No, that didn't work. Alt. And that's just not doing anything. Windows key. No, that's just brings up the Windows key. Anyways, super frustrating. I don't know what's going on there, but it annoys the hell out of me. I feel like Photoshop did something weird like that as well too with layers, but I don't know. Okay. What's another different type of layout that we can do? I think with this one, well, we can kind of almost go around the same things where instead of text, we can have like checkboxes, right? I think that would be really, really cool. Like these things. Bullet points. That's the word. Checkboxes. Yeah, so let's take these bullets here. Let's copy. And let's paste them into here. But except, let's lay it out centered, like so. That's cool, but do we want to extend the size of these bullets? Like if we fill? Ooh, what happened there? No. Maybe we could just leave them like that. Do we want to have buttons? This one, I think we want to have 36. I think we want to have buttons for this one. I don't know why, but I'm just feeling like if you're having bullet points, you kind of want to have a little bit of a button group or a button that gets you, you know, gets the user to where they want to go. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And we can change this. So, of course, instead of having it whoop. What am I doing? What's going on here? Oh, right, it flipped everything. See, this is this stupid thing. Okay, layout 7. 3 bullets. We are going to I want to fill it, but then this is going to have to go down like so. Fixed. So I think that's what we need here. Or should they all be centered? No, if we're going to center them, I think we need to, again, take, we need this one to just hug the content. And that for both of them, this one and this one. No. Can I select? this one, and this one. All right. And then we can go on to here. I think this one, all of these ones, they need to hug. There we go. Then it could be centered. And of course, it's going to look different based on the length of size of these icons, but it's okay. It's to look pretty good. Maybe we can do, this is a second bullet point to illustrate different lengths of different content lengths. Third and final bullet point showcasing your amazing website. And we can even duplicate this one. And then we go to layout 8. And then the difference that we want here is, instead of centering everything, I guess we can lay it out like this, but do we want to? Yeah, I guess we can kind of keep it centered. That's a little tough again. If we hug it like this, I think that would be better. So it's centered to the longest bullet point, or it's left aligned, like the text is left aligned, but the whole thing itself is centered to the longest length of the longest bullet point. So that works. That's just, yeah, depending on how you want to showcase your work. Cool. I like that. But do we need to duplicate all of these different headlines or these different layouts and then remove, like the eyebrow headline and the buttons? I don't know. Let's keep continuing on different ideas, and then we could worry about slight variations between the same idea. So layout 9. What I like for this is you can have the text, and then you can follow it up. Actually, it's basically kind of the same thing, but you follow it up with an image, and then you can throw everything else below that, and then you can have points, like bullet points or, get started or whatever, right? So generally the image might be a little bit smaller, but again, this is just a placeholder for you to figure out what it is that you actually want to do on your website. So the key is to, at a glance, quickly look at the layout of a component and see if it matches what your design is. Copy, paste it, away you go. So I think for this one, let's copy the double bullets. Which looks pretty good. I got this one's a little bit over. I think that's okay, actually. Because I don't mind this one being centered like this. Maybe a little bit more space in between. Yeah. Layout 10. We're just going to take, actually, yeah. I'm going to take a paragraph and it's going to go in this content area. And delete the bullets. But I would like the text to be a little bit more. Let's copy that. Paste that in there. But this text, we want it centered. There we go. I wonder. Where is the size of this thing being set by? If I fix that. Yeah, what was that? Oh, right, there's a layout and then there's a content. Right. So the content we might want to say, you can fill the container. And then the content itself, we can change the size of this one. And this one here, we might want to also go all the way. There we go. That works nicely for this type of layout. And then probably for this one too. Yeah, much better. Good, I like it. Okay. So we got a lot of one column ones. I guess these ones can kind of be called a two column one, I guess you can say. That's fine. Yeah, no. Well, that's late, so I get it.
So we're gonna go down now, so let's hurry.
Just make sure your the paddleboard's pumped up. It's got good air. Okay, well, have fun. How long are you gonna be?
I don't know, probably not too long. 'Cause
No?
they have stuff they wanna do, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Have fun. Family's going paddleboarding. I kind of want to go. I got work to do. Boring. What was I thinking? Right. Okay. We have, these layouts, which are kind of like two columns, but I want to do two columns, but with that have like multiple pictures. And three columns. Yeah. Okay. Which which one should we duplicate? This one has kind of almost everything that I need. So let's duplicate layout 3. And gives me layout 11. All right. So for this one, let's see. Let's put this one, this whole, well, actually we're just gonna call this one column actually. And float everything down. And we're going to change this ratio a little bit. It's almost, I guess you could say it looks more in line with like what a blog post might look like. Fill. That's filling correctly. That's what we want. Yeah, it's basically what we want, which is good. Then, of course, we want to copy and paste this column. So, right. Yeah. This one's a little bit different. I guess what I'm thinking behind this is if you look at a 2-column layout, I mean, do we have, you know, this is a 3-column. I think this is a 2-column. Where do I want to look at? Maybe even here. Like where you have something like this, where you have an image and you have, you know, a text and then you have a paragraph. And then how would you want to do that? What kind of component would you want to make something like that? Something like this, right? So I think if you go here, this one would not quite be there, but there'd be other options for it, right? You know, you have your heading, your image, and then your description text below. So maybe we'll start there. Well, and of course some are left aligned, but this could be centered as well. Yeah, maybe we should start something that has, yeah, like paragraphs I think are going to be more, where am I? A little bit more prominent into a setting like this. Nope. So this one, say we left a line. And say we just delete that. So it would essentially be a 2-column. Column 1 and column 2. And then we'll just put this both in a layout distance between them and center them. All right, so you have something like that. If you want to get into one that's a little bit more specific to what I have, I mean, yeah. Because the next idea would basically be to center everything. Dun, dun, dun. And our paragraphs here would need to be centered. And then we'd have to go into our heading here. That would be a hug. Same with this one. But let's also make this one maybe a little bit smaller in width. Eyebrow. Again, you can hug that. Then if we go back to our heading, then if we centered that, that would be good. But this text here should also be centered. Right. Basically, well, it's definitely the same thing, but just having the text center line versus left aligned. That would be enough work within Webflow that having these two different options would be nice to have. And then the next option would be, of course, to remove that eyebrow and remove the buttons, really. We just want to have heading, image, and then text. Delete and paste. Good. Okay. And just while I'm thinking about this right now, I'm just kind of going over different things that I can think about that I would use if I was building a website. And just because I'm doing them here in Figma, they might not necessarily all make the cut when I actually think about it a little bit more, put them into Piixel pieces. Because I do want to make sure that components are actually kind of useful as well. So it really is kind of just getting my thoughts together, putting them down here on screen and seeing what happens. And if it ends up being that a component that I make here is just like too stupid or two of them are too similar or whatever, then I got no problems letting them go. If need be. So. Right. So let's think about, this is a duplicate. Right. Is there any scenario where we have a heading, a section that has like a title and text and maybe a button or two, whatever, and then has another one side by side? It's not very common. It's not very common, but the only thing I can think of is, again, if we have a layout like this, where someone has an image and text and then a button. Actually, I just delete the image. Maybe you want to have a button, which is like, learn more about this thing, right? Learn more about that thing. So that could be maybe what we can do. So let's bring this back. And actually, we'll do one that's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit different. And we won't even put this into a button group. Let's just actually just have one button, because that's probably going to make the most sense. We don't want to throw in two buttons if we don't, not that we don't have to, but if it's not going to be likely to be used. But again, I don't want to make that decision for the customer or the, I like this. Yeah, I like that. And if you don't want it with a button, you could just delete the button. Again, maybe we'll have that duplicate component. I'm not sure. So that's layout 14. I haven't been renaming my layouts. Layout 13. Layout 12. Okay. So layout 15. Now I'm thinking this one could be more like an icon. I guess what we can do is we can make these, maybe we can do like a 3-column thing here as well too. So if we take this image, let's make it a little bit smaller here. 200 by 200. Let's give it a circle. Yeah, see, this is, hang on, this is basically like the same thing. All right, basically what I'm thinking, if we left align this, and we also left align the text, keep it, oh. In fact, actually probably, I can even get rid of that heading. Just delete that completely. So this is almost like a smaller subheading, where I guess I'm thinking where this could be something that has either an image and then a text, or there's different icons you can have, which we have like for pixel pieces, like this. So that could be where this kind of comes into play. But I want to short heading, and then we could left align this one. Get rid of the button here. Let's put this one, Shift A. This is heading and text. $32, $16, yeah. Maybe 24. There we go. And column 1 and column 2. And then we're going to do the same thing, duplicate this one, except we're going to make sure everything gets centered. We do want to center it like that. We also want it to, whoop. What am I doing? What did I do? There we go. That's how I think we want to do it. This text needs to be centered. Oh. And centered there. Okay, that's pretty much takes care of 16. 17. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna make this one a 3-column layout. This should actually be column 2. So it should be column 3. But what we need to do is look at the images, take each one of them, and let's change the width of them. Say 250. And what should we do with the height? Maybe 150. Let's go 350 by 200. And then these content blocks, we'll put at 350 as well. Yeah. And copy and paste again. I feel like I can just go forever making like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these types of components. Heading, heading, and heading. Oh, actually, I think we want to go here, here, and here, and left align that. Then go here, here, and here, left align that. Oh, and then we could do them again with different buttons and eyebrow text and all that stuff. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. This is tiring. Tiring making components. Yeah, I mean, we already have a huge number of components for these layout sections, which we're gonna have to make. I'm just thinking about the price and how much it's gonna cost to host all these components, because once we go over 150 components, which is very, very soon, which is definitely gonna be after this one, we're gonna have to fire up a new Webflow project and push it live. So we're gonna have to put that on another subdomain, and that's gonna be paying another CMS collection for a website. So we're gonna be giving Webflow more money. So it's gonna cost more and more money per month to be able to host Piixel pieces. But I mean, at the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. Compared to what we could hopefully potentially make out of this. So, yeah, we'll just keep plugging away. I mean, I'm not going to stop building components because I don't want to pay an extra $18 per month per per site or whatever, right? So, all right. Do need to take some more components, or do need to build some more of them, but I think this is a good place, a good starting point anyways. So what other types of components and sections do we want to build? You know what? I don't want to go start taking a look at other places on the internet, because I don't want to get too, I don't know what the word is, inspired by other people and other things. I mean, that being said, looking at other websites is not a bad way to go, but I definitely want to avoid looking at any other components that are out there, and see if we can think of anything that's kind of unique that could be for us. But I mean, at the end of the day too, there's only so many different ways that it makes sense to, lay out a website or a web page, right? Things like this here. Even something like this would be kind of cool. Oh, actually, something like, let's build this one right now, real quick. Actually, this is kind of a neat one. All right. Actually, you know what? Let's copy not this one. Let's copy this one. Layout 19. Okay. So that's going to go like this. In fact, let's just delete this one for now. We are going to, sometimes I just try to zoom to make the sidebar look a little bit bigger or move it up, but to no avail. Okay, we're going to want our heading up here. We're going to want our text up here. Yeah. So this one has a specific width. I guess it does from what the column is. I'll just call this heading and text. So I guess this one we want to give it a specific size, right? So let's say 700. And yeah, I'm gonna hug this one. This one as well is gonna be hugged. Center everything there. And then when we go into here, yeah, that's gonna fill. We're gonna center that one. We'll go into the 7.5. How do we get our proper our spacing right? What do we have for the other ones? Basically like this. What is that space? 24? Here I have 16. Do 24 to keep it consistent. So heading, and then the text. Whoops, no. And so you get out of that spot. So I think I basically want 2 images here. So I'm going to call this group images. And we're going to put them side by side. Right, there's a button group in here. I don't know if we're going to keep that. Fill and hug, I think is about the same. Okay. Maybe just the button, actually. And let's go to our instance here. Here to get started today. There we go. That's a decent looking component. Yeah, I like that. And if we ever wanted to get fancy and do any kind of fancy, like fancy components, which I think would be good because I don't think a lot of people are doing really fancy components with like lots of different interactions. So although I guess it's debatable for how popular they would be because they would be very specific, but I don't know. You never know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how things go and how things develop as we continue to market and push Piixel and start gathering some customer feedback. Okay. I like it. I think we're making some good progress. Geez, that's a lot. Even just in an hour and a half, not even. I got 20 components and at least like times 3. So that's at least going to be 60 new components that we're going to be able to put up into Piixel, which is also going to take time to do and create, but that's okay. That's not bad, especially if you want to think about in the future, maybe having something like we can develop, like a target for 50 new components a week or something like that, right? Or 100 a month. So by the end of the year, I'd want to be like at 1,000 or something like that, right? So, yeah, we can see what we can do to keep plugging away and keep building as many components as we can. But again, without sacrificing quality. I can't stress that enough. I definitely want to have the quality. All right, so I'm going to leave it here for today. Kevin, thanks so much about the whole eyebrow, the eyebrow text or headline or what have you. Never heard of it, like referred to that before, but it makes total sense here with the eyebrows up at the top or whatever. So learn something new every day, which is kind of the whole point of, I don't know, life, I guess. Always be learning, always be growing, and always be moving forward if you're building a business or otherwise. So that's it for me today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Much appreciate all the support. And yeah, we're going to keep plugging away and get to our $1 million. So I'm going to keep working on building more components probably tonight, this afternoon. And we're going to work on getting them all out and to the public by the end of the week, which is actually fast approaching, which is kind of crazy. Then on Monday, we'll do our first true like income report or whatever, a weekly progress report. So that's going to be fun as well too. So, all right. Take care. Have a good one. And as always, we'll see you here tomorrow.